Hi, Divine Feminines. How are you today? Let's get started with this reading. I'm hoping to make it on the shorter side. So again, we have the star coming out. Kind of tells me that you're healing your thought patterns, I feel like, where you were once really stuck. And you're not waiting. Ooh, that's interesting energy. I am not the biggest lover of temperance energy, but let's see what comes out here. Oh, I didn't get, okay, that'll be the shuffle. I won't shuffle more. Let's get some animal signifiers really quick, just to see. One for the feminine, one for the masculine, and one for the in-between. Vulture, crow, wombat, and hawk. So almost all birds again. You have nothing is wasted. I do feel this like quickening of your energy. He has co-create with spirit. He's trying to make something happen. Then we have the Four of Wands energy again. Be at home. So much energy being, it's from the past is what they're saying, past energy. Three bottom cards, again, Four of Swords, Four of Cups, Page of Swords. King of Pentacles, King of Wands, Hierophant, King of Swords, Moon, Devil. Three Kings and the Hierophant. Oh my gosh. All in the upright. Something here about a relationship ending suddenly, quickly. You know, the vulture spirit is a very interesting energy. You know, they're bringing me back. First of all, I'm having a lot of like noises in my body, feelings in my body, and they're bringing me back to like older generations and like people who can make a lot with a little. In a way, you know, a lot of our grandparents grew up at a time where they weren't getting very much. So they had to make a lot with leftovers or scraps, or they got very good and creative at creating new things from very little resources. And that's kind of what they're bringing up here for the Divine Feminine. It's like the process you went through, which they're kind of showing me the breadcrumbing. You got very good in your life, especially at making any little tiny morsel of like attention or love very big. And I feel like this is from your childhood. Yeah, the root of your, look at that, that's crazy. The root of your attachment issues here in your root chakra. I feel like you've healed a lot of things. I don't know why the adjacent possibilities card comes up, and this is my temperance card in this deck, and then the heart chakra comes up as like a healing card, a healing energy. It's kind of like when you know that the ability to like know you have options in life. not like you're running away, but the fact that you can choose, right? Oh my God, we have King of Swords. Twice. Look at those cards. He's just thinking about you and how it's this nostalgic energy. I get a lot of nostalgic feeling here. The fact that they're just bringing up this right away thing from your childhood that you've been working on fixing, you've been working on understanding. And he's really looking at why did he run away? Why did he end things? Why did he go? He knows that it wasn't a good choice. And there's something about, you know, the mirror of you having choices is him having choices, and that he always used options as like a place of emotional manipulation and power. Like he tried to manipulate things, like not only just to show he was wanted, but so he didn't have to commit. This word commit has been coming through all day. And it's like committing to something, really committing, not half committing, which is what they're saying can be part of the doors, right? We have the Seven of Swords here and we have the doors. And in between that, I feel a real like Seven of Cups energy for some reason. I think you've really learned to just be more exclusive with your energy. Not that you're like aloof or standoffish or anything like that. Like, I'm not saying you're manipulating things, but what's coming through, it's like you're really happy with being in your own energy. Oh God. Let's see what fell on the floor. Sacral. This is my like fantasizing card. And then this can be a mother card, but it's also like full moon. It's like a beautiful feminine energy, right? In its fullest expression. And I feel like he is very much fantasizing about having this sacral interaction with you. Wink, wink. And even if it's you guys are just friends, it's like the energy exchange feels so amazing. Yeah, it's like otherworldly. So a lot of cards here of just waiting and blending in. Ugh, I don't want those cards. I knew I didn't want them and then I turned them over anyway. Just waiting and blending in for... This is like a... What are you showing me? All right, stick with me here because I'm not sure where we're going. When people in Egypt would be buried. I see. They would, their organs would be placed in jars so they could use them in the afterlife. And this is sort of what he did with his heart. At some point, he kind of took his heart and he put it in a vase and he sealed it up. And for whatever reason, this meeting you, the interaction, they keep showing me the Horus eye. It's like you woke up his third eye and you woke up a bunch of past life memories. And they're saying like an eye for an eye. This is a karmic wheel, right? We have the wheel here. He's very afraid to make whatever it is with you. I think his karma was delivered. It's over. This is done. And he's very afraid to... my eye's hurting now. He's very afraid to not choose wisely, is how they're saying it. Not choose wisely. Okay, so let's get some more interesting energy about what's going on with him. What do we want, Spirit? Every time I connect to the past life of the masculines, it's like there's a fear about loss in there. Which is part of what makes them run so much. Abundance, the Phoenix, not today, addiction, love call, Grim Reaper, engagement ring, golden mirror, love, girl with the snake. I actually, twin flames. These two should be this way. So it's another message here of, you know, figuring out what love is it's almost more important to figure out what it isn't first. And I get the feeling he has tried everything to make love work, like to try to feel love, and it still is nothing compared to what he felt with you when, you know, you just reached your hand in the jar. And it's not like you were trying to necessarily just reach right over his boundaries. But the only boundary that really seems to work is being away from you, and that doesn't really work either. I do get the feeling of like a happy surprise here. Maybe a phone call. I don't think things will unfold necessarily the way that you think. So I have, you're on his mind. I'm curious about what you're doing. Something's telling me to talk to you. I feel that. I feel that energy of being drawn. You see through my mask. The mask is that jar. I'm curious about what you're doing. Like attracts like. There is this twin flame energy where he can see not only signs, but it's like kind of in the way you do things. He doesn't want to see it, but he is seeing it. We're so different, and yet so alike. I've changed, will you still like me? I think the change has to come with, is coming through this like addiction card. And also maybe, I don't know, I get like a reprioritization of things. Sun energy. So we have had sun energy twice here. Healing. Beautiful fairies. Lovely. Masterminding. Saturn. You're on his mind. This is like a discipline of doing things correctly. Law of vibration rat. I feel anxious when I think about contacting you. Law of attraction. Communication will come soon. Scared with our family, will say. Void. Yeah, he's realized that he doesn't necessarily have courage around you. He's kind of wanting you to be the one But there is something here about like, it's like hiding versus public. And secret versus like everybody knowing. So let's see if we can find out what that is. Because I'm feeling like, I don't know, I feel like you don't want everyone in your business. And that may be why you've been waiting. And also I get this feeling like for some of you, people could have a lot of opinions that are not, they don't understand necessarily why things are going on the way they are, or like the nature of the relationship. And so you kind of worry that there'll be a lot of judgment about it. That doesn't really necessarily come from a good place. Like, people who aren't believing in things often are cynical because it's easier for them to live with that explanation as why they didn't go after their dreams, why they didn't follow their passions, why they're shutting down their heart. They just have made a decision overall that things won't work. People have ulterior motives, you know, and it's natural because that's what the twin flame journey is here to, the paradigm that the twin flame journey is here to crumble, right? Is that the only real reason people are in relationship is to get something. And not only are they showing me 6 of Pentacles, but they're also showing me like a crystal pyramid, not an obelisk, but a pyramid, but like the top part of this, where you become so full of belief and so self-loving that you could endlessly just give everything and never feel they're like, no, that pyramid, I didn't look at it, that you could just endlessly give and there would be no end to it. Like, I know this seems a little Pollyanna even to me, but that's what they're saying, is that when you really tap, see, she has a crystal crown on, and she's actually seated in the water. So in the last couple readings, although there's a cage or there's foliage down here, I actually never really noticed that she is seated in the water. And she has a crystal chair behind her, throne. So just endless giving and just automatic receiving. Like, they're just showing me a circle like an Ouroboros and just giving everything all of the time and continuously being full and replenished. And I don't know, I mean, they're saying in a lot of ways, you know, you are being reborn as your highest self now. And that may indeed look like some things not going correctly, some people leaving your life, other things ending. It's kind of a reorganization of your heart field. That took a turn. It's just an actual freeing your energetic mind, your mind energy up. And you may indeed feel drawn back to things from your childhood, things from your past, teachers like that you once had may reemerge, and you may want to go back and read books that made a big impact on your life, or visit places that you loved as your younger you, and they may hold another, when we engage with someone's creation like that, we energetically attune ourselves to it, and it creates a reorganization in our energy field. And so you going as a more advanced version of yourself may indeed create another energetic reorganization. See this? Council of Light, divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realm. I feel like you'll be drawn to go places and do things just naturally. This says no, wait, postpone, pause, say no, get grounded. So I have, for the last 2 readings, given very specific energetic guidance from the Council of Light, and them saying, when you are triggered, stop, go ground yourself and work through your trigger before dealing with it. Answer the call. They're saying specifically a phone call. Align your life. Your life is being realigned. It's pretty obvious here to me. Protection. You're going to see, oh, that's my favorite card in this deck. You're going to see a very big sign. And you're going to realize where you have been giving power to things and people and institutions and ideas and places away. It's like this is going to just like wash over you like a wave, and you're going to like look straight in the mirror and be like, oh, that's where I was completely just giving myself, my power away to fear, basically, is what they're saying. And I love this, like it's like a beluga whales doing backflips out of the ocean, right? It's like such a beautiful card. I love it. It's a cause for celebration, really. Faith in the process. What you want wants you. Before, restore and replenish. Power of attraction. Listening for truth. Many of those came out yesterday. Sacred Fool, that's the Fool card. Bring it into form. So whatever it is that you see, it is time to begin the new 2.0 version of you in a way. It's going to be almost effortless. It's not something you're going to have to work on. I don't feel that. I feel like you've done the work, and now you have to have the faith to follow. They're giving me the breadcrumb again. Remember the breadcrumbs analogy. It's like twofold, right? It's energetically leading you to where you want to be, but it's also developing you as a person, because it is your faith in yourself and your development of yourself that leads you to becoming the person that, how do I want to say that? That requires to be met reciprocatively. I've never said that word before. It's like you're getting breadcrumbs, and this isn't like, take this as it resonates, okay? You're getting breadcrumbs in one aspect because you really believe, and your experience has shown or given you an example of that's what you deserve. And you believe it, but you're becoming the person that believes they require full effort. Now, when you have attachment issues and you meet someone, like let's say it happens, it doesn't normally happen unless it's, we've all, I think most of us have had experiences with love bombing. That's how it's like a false front, right? And I could go into why I feel like that happens, but when you meet someone that will give you, you're stepping into this energy of either you come correct or you're not going to be in my reality that way. When they come, it can be very jarring, right? They're coming back to this word jarring, is that it overwhelms your circuit, right? They talked about this Ouroboros circuit and the giving and receiving. And it's like, it's funny because people pleasers and empaths, they convince themselves that they're the ones giving so much. But they're saying like, you're giving a lot, but like the hole that you're giving it through is tiny. It's not really all of you. You're going to give, like, you've been giving, like, I have this tiny teacup, you know, but you're giving this like tiny amount, but it's like you've learned to take a tiny amount and make it huge. So it feels like this tiny amount is huge, but you really have like Niagara Falls to give, right? And so when someone comes at you with Niagara Falls and you're trying to squeeze it all, the analogy got really convoluted, but squeeze it all through this tiny hole, it's going to break the dam and you're going to run away because there's a lot of fear. When you feel that overwhelming love, it can feel like overwhelming fear, and it can feel like overwhelming pain. Whatever you have associated love with, it will trigger that, right? And so they're telling you now for the 4th time, when you get triggered, go and ground yourself. Don't react. Because there's something coming that will jolt you. And I feel like for most of you, it's been a long process to get to this point. Again, we have a bunch of spirals, we have a bunch of shells, we have a bunch of, full circle things that are coming back around. We do the full loop of healing, and then we're back kind of where we started in a higher elevation. So we're kind of looking from the same vantage point. It's not like we're going to go through the exact same thing, but we are kind of passing through the same vantage point that we passed through before. And I feel, we got the alignment card, right? Yeah. I feel like they're saying, you're here, right? So you've gone all the way around and you're here again. When you're here, when you're at the top of the circle, you can look down or across all the times in your life this lined up. And that's why that the nostalgia is coming. It's a big picture. You're going to get a big picture all the way down. And I wouldn't be surprised if you have moments over the next days or weeks or months where you feel suddenly good feelings. You know how when you're a child and you have this like feeling of beautiful freedom and alignment? I don't really know how it is for everyone else, but that's how I process it. It's like as we get older and older, those feelings seem to be less. And they're saying partially it's because you've been in the dark tunnel without the light, and you've been isolated in a lot of ways, and you've been deeply staring into the mirror, right? Which is the abyss. And, you know, you've been in this, and you're going to get flashes of this, right? Here's the lightning striking and opening this portal. And again, it's like a mirror. We have two mirrors here. Is that, let's pretend that this is the mirror here, and he's over here approaching the mirror, and you're over here approaching the mirror. And there's a portal opening. There is a portal opening. Like we have seen. I have to get this card. This card keeps coming up, and I felt it with whatever card we got earlier. It's like the portal is there, and the closer you get to the portal, to the opening, the heavier it feels, the hotter it feels, the warmer you feel, the more intense it gets, right? So it is true that you can feel a lot of angelic support around you, a lot of animals supporting you, a lot of signs, a lot, not necessarily the angel numbers and stuff. Like I don't particularly feel Divine Feminine having a lot of signs like that, but I feel like the helpers in the subtle realm are really close. I'm not sure what they're getting at here. Forgiving and learning. So they do keep talking about releasing and retreating, not expressing, not heart-to-heart conversations, not optimistic. You know, there's just like, don't give. Stop giving so much right now. And let things simmer. It's like, let it come to you, and get really good at feeling what you're feeling. I mean, the only three cards we have here that are in the upright are forgiving and learning, retreat, and past life relationship. And they kind of want you to let go of everything. It's like the emphasis they're putting on here is disconnect from the world, release and heal the past, and experience more love in your present moment, and you have known each other before. And part of this card that they're bringing up is that for some of you, you're being drawn to, again, they're talking about going somewhere where you will experience another culture, another way to dress, another language, something that will activate you in a way. It may be somewhere you've been before, and you may also really want right now to start dressing in the colors and the way that you really feel your most authentic true self. It's not as deep as doing inner work, but it is an activation of sorts when you choose to wear colors and fabrics and styles that identify your true authentic self. Like, I'm being super drawn to her dress right here, and even in the back it looks like pyramids, right? So you may feel a strong calling to dress in like a more old-fashioned style or a more futuristic style, or just whatever is true to you. You may, because they're saying like people will be drawn to that too. It's not as superficial as it seems when people talk about color and style and all of that. It's more in depth, because it's a way of your light getting out into the world in a way. And people will, you may meet people that are interested or like the same kinds of things you do that way. And that can be important. Okay. But more than that, it's like, it shows that you have a level of like security in yourself, that you feel secure enough to express into the world. I don't know. That's what they're going on about. So however it is that you want to change up, and it may be that like you used to wear like beautiful long pattern dresses, and maybe somebody was really critical of that, and you decide to go back to that style of dressing that made you feel really happy. Or maybe when you were a kid, they keep bringing up being a child, that there were things as a child that you just naturally expressed love for. And of course, you are a different, less complex, less mature person. But they're saying like that heart of your child, your heart was also in that person. And it's still the same heart. And when you reconnect that circuitry that gives love from a very pure place, and you are maturely protected, right? We're not naive, but there's a cultivation of faith that, let's say okay, I'll use myself as an example. I loved in certain times of my life to dress very, very flamboyantly and artistically and very expressively. And I feel like that's my natural way of being. And yes, like as a rebellious teenager, it definitely came out more, but then it kind of went away. And I remember really loving the feeling of wearing something super unique, and not for attention, but because it felt like such an outward expression of the beauty that I felt inside from connecting to the world. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so you have a time for healing, balsamic moon. They have a personal issue reaches resolution, full moon in Cancer. So that's a great card. Having faith in your dreams, waxing crescent moon. Confidence is your key to success, new moon in Leo. And then there is this is the new moon, the full moon in Pisces is on Saturday into Sunday, and it is this balanced spirituality and practicality. They also have the new moon in Cancer, and a end of a tough cycle approaches. So I do feel there's been a tough cycle, as we've been talking about that dark tunnel. I feel like you are ending whatever it is that you needed to heal. There's a resolution here coming. Kuan Yin, compassion, release judgments about yourself and others, and focus on the love and the light that is within everyone, which is exactly what I was just talking about. He has Mary Magdalene, unconditional love. Love yourself and others. Love yourself, others, and every situation, no matter what the outward appearance may be. Interesting. And then Saraswati, the arts. Express yourself through creative activities. So she has her foot on the lotus there. And again, she's wearing, two of these women are wearing beautiful dresses. And I do feel like for some of you, it may be a return to a very feminine way of dressing. It may not. Maybe towards more masculine. It's up to you. And we have another whale here. So this is exactly what I was talking about. Sedna, infinite supply. You are supplied for today and all of your tomorrows. And so we know that is a very important part of what's coming through right now is, and she's sitting in a lotus. And I think Mary is crying the salt and her tears are in there. Because I know at one point I was very drawn to a part of France where supposedly Mary Magdalene had come ashore, and it's where there's a lot of salt flats. And I know that there may be a lot of tears for the masculine right now as he's waking up to the truth about himself being a loving being and how much pain he's gone through in this lifetime, how mistreated he has been, how dark his tunnel has been. There's an awakening here for him that carries with it many, many lifetimes of unconditional love from you. And like I said, you've been the one activating this heart awakening for him. This Morganite is this relationship healing. And I don't want to trigger anyone, so I'm going to talk about this. And if you don't want to hear it, I will wave my hand in front of the camera when I'm done talking about it. So a trigger warning right here. One of the things that's definitely been, part of my downloading from Spirit is that twins, your children from other relationships and their children from other relationships are your spiritual children. And you've had many, many children in past lives together, and lost many children. And that's a very, very deep pain and very hard to integrate. And I could go very far into it, but I just want you to know that that is part of what the masculine carries. Like, he carries that burden for the feminine. So you don't have to carry it as deep as he carries it. And you can see that a bit in some of who I believe are like public figure twin flames. And that, I think, will come more and more into the public eye. Okay, there we go. So you have the fertility card with fairy stone, and that's the second fairy reference, right? Okay, I'm not going to say anymore. But rose quartz, inner child. We are always being attended to by helpers in the subtle realm. And then again, we have this sunstone empowerment card, which is such a beautiful energy of shining your light for everyone to see. And then we're going to get some, so for anyone who's new, this is you can call in these energies. Sorry, sometimes I'm listening and talking at the same time. It's hard. You can call oh, look at that. That's amazing. So Horus and Isis are the strongest cards in this deck, and then we have the twins here. And like I said, you have the Eye of Horus right there, and he's definitely being activated by you, understanding all of the past life stuff coming through. I feel it really strongly. I haven't felt that energy in a while. You have hope with the lotus again, love and acceptance. Love is yours. Recognize your divine worth. Choose loving thoughts. He has Freya, which is, a very witchy energy. Phases and cycles. There's a beginning with every ending. Illusions are revealed and released. So again, that energy of release. And then he had the crow, right? Co-creating with spirit. Yeah. This is a full moon energy. It's also a Friday energy, right? Freya is the ruler of Friday. And then we have Joan of Arc and Charity. And bottom of the deck, we have Lady Portia again. So voice of truth. Stand strong. Focus on your purpose. Release the fear of persecution and speak your truth. That has been coming through your ability to talk about what you're feeling openly and honestly. Do what you feel is right. An important lesson is unfolding. So you can call these energies into your energy field. The crystals, you can, use the crystal or just ask that they come into your energy while you're sleeping, while you're meditating, while you need them. Silver dragon, earth and water dragon, lots of moon energy, emerald dragon. That's a beautiful energy. I know in my personal year of destiny, if you don't know what those are, you can look up cards of destiny. I'm the 8 of Pentacles. That's my personal card. And today begins the mark of my Jupiter period. So our periods in our life are ruled by 52-day cycles in the cards of destiny, which did come, playing cards came from Egypt, and basically the tarot began there as playing cards. So you have the silver dragon. Eliminate your potential with higher light. Access untapped resources. Look for your soul. Look into your soul and see higher possibilities. He has earth and water dragon, creates foundations for new growth. A fresh start is coming with new opportunities. Nurture your ideas and harvest the abundance. And then in between is a it's the most auspicious card in this deck. Brings in healing and cosmic abundance. Good fortune is coming. Let your thoughts support your divine perfection. Align with your 5th dimensional blueprint, as I said. Okay, and then you have time. You're trying too hard. Give it time. And I did say something about that. It's like, you don't need to try. This is all going to flow. bring a lot of awareness to it. Close your eyes and tell yourself that you deserve to feel joyful and can allow joy in your life, regardless of the circumstances you currently find yourself in. Then in between it says, when it comes to matters of the heart, there's no right or wrong. So, most of all, forgive yourself and stop judging yourself. Every choice you make expands your understanding of life and love, and embrace. Through each other, you will find the missing pieces. Look deep within your heart and you will feel my love. My love for you is as deep as the ocean, which I love that card. So thank you so much for being here and letting me read for you. And I so appreciate when you like, share, and comment. And also just hearing that, you have resonated with it. It's really helpful to me, and I really strive to bring, you accurate messages so you can know what's going on in your journey and try to have the guidance that you need. So I have lots of faith in you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.